It's a beautiful day to be a Raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. Oh, you know what time it is, Raider Nation. Oh yeah, you know what time it is. That's why you're here right now. That's why you take a little bit of time out of your evening to join me. Because you know what time it is. Oh yeah. It's time to bring them.
What's up, Raider Nation? I'm the Commish, coming to you live from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios, deep behind the enemy lines. This is Raider Reaction. What's up? Perry, Popeye, Ryan. What's up on a Friday night? How we doing, Daniel? Thanks for joining me. Ryan's got his in hand. Just get mine in hand as well. Happy Friday, Terry. Cheers to you all, gentlemen, and any ladies that are joining us. So, it's been somewhat of a busy week in the land of the silver and black. We've had OTAs. What's up, lovely? We've had OTAs. We've had some contract talk. We had the breaking news of what the possibility of the Derek Carr contract's going to look like. And, we had the owners meeting at the beginning of the week. We had some rule changes. Overtime's getting cut. What's up, Jeff? Raiders. So, there's been some action this week. So, as of today, though, there really isn't a whole lot of news that's been out there. At least in the Raider world. Obviously, probably the biggest news that's happened, Kaepernick got signed, is going to get signed by Seattle. That's probably the biggest news that has happened league-wide in the past day. It's Kaepernick. At least when the phone rang, somebody was actually wanting him. Good for him, because the phone hadn't rang for that guy for a while, which was odd. The fall off of him, it was quite the story. Quite the story. I'm sure it'll make a great Lifetime movie someday. Yes, there was some signing of draft picks. As Daniel said, there's been some action. You've got some guys that have lightly participated in OTAs, and then the second day they're not participating. Delaney Jenkins is being one. And, basically they're just taking their time with these guys, and they're working them back in. It's the first real, they're getting out there, they're getting full speed. You don't want to hamper some guy with a silly injury at this time of the year, so they're taking it easy with these guys and working them back in. So, kind of what they're doing with Marshawn. Marshawn hasn't been a terribly physically active member of the OTAs. He's been out there. But he's not been getting a ton of action. And like I said, they're just trying to work him into the routine. The routine to go out there with the team. Now everybody has nothing but positive things to say about him, so nothing there that has nothing to do with his actual physical participation. But all these guys are working their way in. Now there's a guy on defense, Ben Haney, who still seeming like he's hampered with the injury that was plaguing him last season. The buzz on Megatron, Ryan? I don't think there really is a buzz too much. Detroit pretty much owns him. It's a much different situation than the Marshawn Lynch situation. Marshawn left Seattle on good terms. He was on good terms with the general manager. They were still they're still amicable. They still speak. The severing of and retirement of Calvin Johnson from the Lions is a much different situation. He is owned by the Lions. They were not happy about him retiring, and yeah, no, they are not. They would be. If we were able to pull that off, that would be monumental. But that's not going to happen. That's a pipe dream. That's not reality. There's no way that's going to happen. No way. It's much, much different, much more complex of a deal than trying to pull something off like Marshawn Lynch. So I don't see that happening at all. Don't see that happening at all. Is there any other hot burning questions that you guys have? Like I said, it's Friday night. We've worked through about every bit of Raiders news there is this week. A lot of you have joined me every night. And if there's any questions that you guys specifically have, what's up, Dorothy? Please throw them up on there, and we'll talk through whatever questions you have on there. So, if there's anything you guys have, I have some things I'm going to work through tonight. But if you have anything, throw them up there, and we'll run with it. A little Q&A style tonight. Like I said, it's May. Everybody's going into a 3-day weekend. You know, how's Carr healing? Carr's fine. Carr's going to be 150% by the time we get to preseason. He's fine. It was the healing process was spectacular. It's been no issues. He's been doing full leg drills since February. Carr's fine. Carr is not a worry. Not a worry. How many touchdowns are we going to get as a team? Or passing? Like, how many is Derek Carr going to get? Because Derek Carr is going over 30. He's going over 30 this season. I'll tell you that. Because he's going to get over the 31. And then he will be the second greatest statistical quarterback ever through the first 4 seasons. The only that will be better is will be Dan Marino. So, and I want that. I want that too. So over 30, That's what I'm saying. What number are they up to? Daniel, what number are they up to? I've been keeping track, but I forgot where they stopped. Because they stopped after Cooper, right? Or have they had another group that I missed? $63? Are you saying 60? Are you saying 63 for Derek Carr? Oh, good Lord Almighty! If he throws 63 touchdowns, man, just hand that boy the trophy, right on the field. Say, boy, son, you're the MVP. Wow, 63. Good Lord. Who do you think will get the first touchdown? Now that's an interesting one right there. Well, let's look at that. That's an interesting little nugget. Let's chew on that one for a minute. Thank you, Stephanie. Who will get the first touchdown of the season? Well, we gotta look. It's gonna be in Tennessee. It's gonna be in Tennessee, and it resumes Monday. I can say I thought. Oh, so it does resume Monday. I wondered because of the holiday if it would or not. It's going to be in Tennessee. Huh. You know what? Jared Cook. I don't know why, but I think it'll be somebody that nobody expects it to be. And then Cooper and Crabtree will probably get one that same game too, but I'm going to say Jared Cook. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'll say Jared Cook. I think Carr is going to love the new tight end toy that he has. He has never had a tight end. He throws to the tight end a lot. The problem is they're not always there, or they don't make the play. But he throws to the tight end position a lot, and to have a tight end that he can use, Jared Cook. There you go, Stephanie. That's my prediction for who catches the first touchdown. Now, yeah, obviously, Chuck, it's already filmed. It's easy. It's easy filler program for him. That in the top 10s that they do, that they can do. They have them things plugged in. They can just spit them out there whenever they need a filler. What do we got, Jeff? Can you talk about our running back situation? Running back situation, yes, Jeff. I will talk about the running back situation. The running back situation looks like Marshawn's going to be your number one. How they use Marshawn is still up for debate. I'm not 100% sold on Marshawn is going to be the full number one and going to get a huge amount. See, I know Perry's, Cole Popeye here, he's got the 1637. But I think he's going to get his 1,000, but I don't think he's going to get a tremendous amount more than that. I think he's going to get his incentive yards. But like I said, now I'm not saying Marshawn is not going to be a beast for the Raiders this year, because I do believe he is. But I don't think statistically he's going to have this phenomenal 1,700, 1,600 yard season. I think he's going to get his 1,000, but he's going to be very impactful. They're going to use him wisely because they've also got Jalen Richard and DeAndre Washington back there. And I do believe you're going to get a little mix of Hood in there as well. They're going to try to mix him in early and see what he's got. Now, depending on how he plays in preseason, is probably going to determine how much time or how much of a chance Elijah Hood is going to get. But, like I said, I think Marshawn is going to be impactful. I think I can see 1250, Mark Anthony. I can see 1250. I would say that's a very high number. That's probably as high as I see him going. I see him in the 1,000 to the 1,200 range. That's probably where I see him finishing. Is a little over 1,000 yards. He's going to get it. But they're going to use these other guys a lot. I mean, Richard showed he can be a weapon last season. And so did DeAndre Washington. So, and if I'm telling you, it's going to come down for Hood how he plays in preseason, I think. If he plays well in preseason and shows what they think they got against some weak defense competition, frankly, then we'll see. He may, Chuck, and that's what I'm saying. That's going to make things interesting. If Hood comes out and has this spectacular preseason, I'm telling you, the guy that's going to get cut is Tywan Jones. I think Tywan Jones is really on the bubble for making the Raiders roster this season just because of the picking up of Elijah Hood. It's filling the backfield. Tywan's a talented kid. They moved him around. He's played running back. He's played defensive back. He's a return guy. He does anything that's asked of him. He's a talented kid, but I just think it comes down to a numbers game. And his card's going to get pulled, and he's going to get the release. I think he's just going to be the odd man out. I think that's just the way it is. I think he is too, probably, but that remains to be seen, Perry. Remains to be seen. That remains to be seen. He may be. I've seen so many times I've seen flashes out of Tywan Jones. Oh no, for how many seasons I'm like, I thought he could be something, and then nah. You know. Then they moved him to return guy, and I'm like, he could be. Not so much. You know, he's had some big plays at running back, but when you got Richard and Washington back there, they're a better version of him. So, we'll see. Chuck's wanting to trade Washington. I don't know. See, the thing is, Chuck, I don't know if I'm ready to see either one of these kids traded away. Kinda. Raider V, kinda. That's kind of how they used him. And, but he could even play D-back, too. I mean, he was kind of like a Swiss Army knife type player, and that's why they've kept him around. It's because he's such a valuable commodity, because he fills several needs on your team and only takes up one roster spot. So it's a no-brainer. But the problem is the roster spots that he is holding are starting to be taken up by people that are holding maybe a little more talent. And they're trying to upgrade, basically, at every position, if they can. And that's just another one. That's just another one. Because the other thing is not only have we signed Hood, but you got to look at the emergence of all of the young defensive backs that we've picked up as well. That makes Taiwan a little, he doesn't really fit in the mix back there either. We got Cordarrelle Patterson, so is he going to be getting that many kick returns? Just everywhere Taiwan kind of fit in, we've kind of moved past him a little at all of those positions. So it's unfortunate, but I think he's looking like he could be the odd man out. But we'll have to wait and see. Have to wait and see. It's that time of the year where you just don't know what's going to happen. And now that they've changed it, so now it's down to only one cut. Which I kind of like. That allows all of these kids that are trying out for teams to be able to have the whole time. They can be retained on the team all the way up until the end. And then they're cut. So, I like that. That gives them an opportunity, the most opportunity, to at least have several weeks, the entire preseason, to prove themselves. Because it was rough that, part of the way through preseason they had to make a cut. These guys are standing there like, man, I like that in a handful of plays. I got like in 4 plays. So at least that gives some of these guys a shot, man, because this is everybody's dream. All of these guys' dreams that are, just to make these rosters. But hey, this is what it is. They're trying, but yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to make those rosters. So it's nice, like I said, it's nice that they've moved that cut. There's a couple other rule changes that they put into place. They added an extra IR per team for the upcoming season. They're going to have medical tents down on the sideline of each season. What do we think about Darrelle Revis? I think Revis should retire, and he should turn Revis Island into a retirement community, put up some tiki huts, start serving drinks, and booking cruise lines to Revis Island, because that thing shouldn't be covering nobody anymore. I think, unfortunately, the position of shutdown corner is not a long-lived position, because you have to be quick, you have to be fast, your reflexes have to be pinpoint, because you are playing on the ball at a shutdown corner position. And when you start to lose that edge just a little bit, you're done. And Darrelle Revis has lost more than a little bit. Joey Bosa, Raider V, the thing is, if the Chargers would have drafted a little better and put some more talent around Bosa in the draft, I think he could have been more of a danger But I don't believe, because of the way they drafted and built around him, because you thought by drafting him last year that they would come out and they would want to build around him as he was the core. But that is not what happened. So, Bosa's still a dangerous guy. Dangerous kid, but that's why we got car insurance. What's up, Jennifer? That's why we got car insurance. So I'll put car insurance up against Bosa and the rest of that Chargers D any given Sunday. But I'll see him probably getting some sacks, maybe against some other teams. I completely see that. I think he's a talented kid, but like I said, I'm surprised that the LA Chokers did not put some more talent around him in the draft. But they didn't. So, any other questions, any other topics you guys got? Go ahead and throw them up in the comments. Doing like a little Q&A style. I've got some stuff I want to touch on, but if you guys got things you wanted to discuss, got questions about, throw them up there. Taking topics from you guys this evening. Like I said, it's been a fairly eventful week in the silver and black. You know, you had the big rumors about Megatron. Then they all went golfing afterwards. You had Del Rio, Downey, the offensive coordinator, DC. They all go golfing with Megatron. But happy Friday to you too, Bobby. Happy Black Friday. It's been an interesting week. Got Marshawn out there. He's skipping around like a school kid out there. It's just, everybody's just excited that it's getting started. Everybody knows it's going to be a great, great season. Everybody's just excited about it. And, I mean, with great reason. Why wouldn't you be excited? Luwani. How does Luwani fit? Luwani is going to fit in as a backup safety cornerback. I think Garyon Conley is going to possibly bump Smith at the starting position. So you're going to have, it'll be him and Emerson, I believe, are going to be your starters. At the safeties, I think you're going to have Obi, Reggie, and Carl Joseph kind of rotating as a three-headed monster as your starters. I think Reggie and Carl will be the starters on paper, but I think you're going to see Obi getting a lot of playing time at safety. But I think Luwani's going to be up there right behind them at the number 4 position. I think he's looked good. He's a talented kid, and I got a feeling he's going to sneak in there, and he's going to make the cut and make the team. I believe so. That is funny, Ryan. That is funny. That's a little stadium. Little stadium. Maybe they can fill that thing, though. Probably not. Probably not. Probably not at all. Oh, the tuck rule. Mark, why you gotta bring up bad things? Come on now. To this day, now I have watched the replay of that play a freaking gazillion times. But to this day, I have not brought myself to sit and watch the entire replay of that game. That game was such an emotional roller coaster for me. Watching that game, I can remember it like it was yesterday. And I still to this day cannot sit and watch it. I have the tape of that game. I have the video of the whole thing. Someday I'll bring myself to sit and watch it, but I don't know. I don't know if I can deal with that scar. It was over. I was going insane. It was over. It was over. Oh my God, you were at that game. Oh, I couldn't even imagine being at that game. I probably would have lost my mind. Oh my God, I couldn't imagine being at that game. I've been at some games where it's went south quick. I was at a game. Get this, quick story. I was at a game in Cleveland. You're a Pat season ticket holder. Oh, get out of here. Now, quick story, funny story. Friday night story time with the commish. So I was at a game in Cleveland, Raiders Cleveland. My wife is literally like 8.5 months pregnant with our first child, with my daughter. 8.5 months pregnant, and this is the year after the Super Bowl, so I believe this was 2003. Playing the Browns, packed stadium, man, packed stadium. And when I go, I specifically when I go on road games, I specifically try to buy season tickets from the home team. I like to sit right in their den. It's just me. I like to sit right in the middle of them. Right in the end zone, right in the front row. I like to sit right down in there, right in their grill. So that's usually where I'll get seats. So, we have seats down, we have seats, we're watching the Browns game. It's a late game, and we're driving at the end of the game. And I forget what the score was. I want to say it was a low-scoring game, but it had been a very defensive and a very tight game. And I want to say it was like 12-8. We were down more than a field goal, I know that. And Gannon's driving us down the field, and we're at a point in the game where we need about 8 yards or so. And we need to get the first. It's 4th down. And we couldn't get a field goal. Field goal wasn't going to win it. So we just needed the first to keep the drive going. And the clock is down like 30 seconds. It's low, so this is our only shot. And they throw an out to Jerry Rice. And supposedly Rice makes the catch, but I guess his knee was down in front of the line. So the play was over. That meant the game was over, and it ended right then. Now, before my ass even leaves the seat, I'm telling you, before I even left the seat, the entire freaking Cleveland stadium is chanting, "Raiders suck." The entire stadium, mind you. Now, me and my 8.5 month pregnant wife are deep in Brownsville, and we're just like, oh my God, we've got to get out of here. So, unfortunately, we have to take the walk of shame. And I'm telling you what, I still hold personal vendettas for the way Browns fans spoke to my pregnant wife as we were walking out. They were so lucky I did not kill a few people that day. Because, it was an ugly, ugly scene. It was one of the worst crowd experiences I'd ever had at a Rivals football game. And I've been to a lot of away games at different stadiums. But that's just a interesting story. When we bought those tickets, my wife wasn't supposed to be pregnant. So, and otherwise we hadn't planned on taking her, but she's like, well, I'm going to go. I was like, all right, I guess. And, yeah, but it's an interesting little story. And we lost that one, but also had some great stories of some road games. The great story at a Tennessee game, which is why I'm excited to go back to see Tennessee at the home opener again this season. Because I was Tennessee game that I went to once. Kerry Collins was our quarterback. The last time I'd seen the Raiders play in Tennessee. I'm in Tampa. I'm in the Tampa Bay area, Ryan, so I'm closer to Tampa. But I will be going to the Miami game this season. I was at the Tampa game last season, at the Jacksonville game last season. But the last time I was at the Tennessee game was, I can't remember the year. I want to say 05, 06, somewhere around there. Somewhere around there. It was Kerry Collins. And we just started lighting them up in the second half. And it was just me and a very small group. There was like 6 of us. and we cleared the entire section. Cleared the entire section of Tennessee, because, man, we was putting it on them. Pac-Man got burnt up. That was when Pac-Man was still playing in Tennessee. So I had some good memories of Tennessee when I was there for the only time I was there for a game. So I'd like to go back. I feel it'd bring some good juju for this season, because Tennessee was a good experience. Now I want to go back to Cleveland sometime too, man. I want to be there because I host some Cleveland fans. I want to buy some tickets right down there. I hope it's the same fools that was that was a while ago, but you never know. So one thing you got to say about Cleveland, I mean, their football team sucks, but they do got some diehard fans. So you got to give them props for that. So, oh, Daniel, those were amazing games. And the best thing about those two games is because my son, well, last year he was 9. So he's 10 now. But last year he was 9. And obviously, I like, we'll get some games, but he's 9. He's in school. So that means it's obviously not easy or conducive for us to get out to games on the West Coast all the time for him to be able to get back without missing time. So those two, it was great because I was able to take my 9-year-old son. We had 4th row tickets in the end zone that the Raiders warmed up at for Jacksonville, and then we had 8th row right on the aisle, right in the end zone where the Raiders warmed up for Tampa as well. And we were also my son was right down there in the end zone when Seth Roberts catches the touchdown in overtime and runs right into the end zone. Johnny Holton jumps up in the crowd, signed his hat for him. It was pretty cool. Both those games were amazing. So hoping they can come out here and make it 3-0 in a row against the Florida teams. Take down Miami again this season. And that was a night game. So I'm going to take the whole family down for that one, because that's only like 3.5 hour drive. So that's not that bad. So I'll probably take the family down for that one. We'll just take some Monday off and take all of us down for that one. So that'll be nice. They don't get out here that often. See, what you don't understand is, what I was telling my son, because, I mean, last year, the fact that there was a Raiders game here, like a home game for us, was just freaking amazing. We were down there early tailgating, partying it up, had a blast. I'd done a bunch of webcast streaming for my last season on the Raider Reaction Hardcore Challenge Live. Did a bunch of streaming down there. We just had a blast. Florida Raider Nation was out there. It was a great time. Absolutely great time. But I was telling him, because he's 10, I said, you realize, because we'd moved here 8 years ago, and the first year we moved here, there was a Raiders game. The Raiders had played here that season. And he was 1, so we didn't take him. What's up, Sergio? So, this year, he was old enough, and he'd been going to games since he was 8. We took him to that one. And he was walking in, he's like, we were leaving, and it was man, I can't wait. I can't wait till the next time they come back here. I was like, buddy, you realize the next time they're going to play here again, you'll be 18. He's like, what? I'm like, yes. It plays on a cycle. The schedule plays on a cycle because we're non-conference. So, we'll only play them on the rotation every 4 years. And it alternates home and away. So we're only guaranteed to play them possibly in Tampa again 8 years from now. Or 8 years from last year. So 7 years. Because the next time we play them, 4 years from now, because they're an NFC team, so we don't play them very often. The next time we play them 4 years from now, we'll play them in Oakland. So it will be 8 years before the Raiders are probably playing in Tampa again. Now they'll play in Jacksonville again more frequently, and they'll play in Miami more frequently. So they're still back in Florida, but they won't play in Tampa again probably for 8 years. My son just couldn't wrap his head around that. He's like, I don't get it. What do you mean they're not going to be back? I was like, I know. We live on the wrong coast now, buddy. I'm sorry. What are you going to do? But, hey, it's beautiful out right now. It's a magical land here. It's a Sunshine State. We gotta love it. I love it here. I ain't gonna lie. I love it here. Absolutely love it. So, what else you guys got? DC to become the MVP. Fernando, I've already called it. DC is going to be this year's MVP. I think he is going to come out so motivated and so stoked for this season that he is going to be a man possessed. There is so much unfinished business for our team this season. So much unfinished business. Ended it on such a sour, terrible note last season. The only sack D-Pen allows all season is Derek Carr getting his leg broke on a fluke play. Wasn't even a hard hit. Wasn't anything nasty about it at all. Complete fluke. Complete fluke. We were cruising into the playoffs. The team was hitting its stride, but every single weakness we have had on either single side of the ball has been addressed. We were 12-4 last season. How can we not be better? How can the defense not be better? How can the offense not be better? We have improved and fixed and tweaked every single weakness we have. No problem, man. What's up, Steven? Carr, well, yes he does. I don't know if sitting here and talking to you if he's got as much fire as me. I don't know, but on the football field, Carr straight smoked me. I was a terrible quarterback. I'm actually I coach youth football and I coach youth soccer. And unfortunately, I have to throw the ball when I coach. Man, I'm a terrible quarterback. I'm a terrible quarterback. So I like to make sure my quarterback's halfway decent because I'll make them like, all right, here's what I need you to do. You're gonna throw, because man, I'm a terrible quarterback. I'm a terrible quarterback. I played defense. I played defense. I could not throw the ball. I could tackle. I could tackle. But man, Derek Carr sounded like he is going to be a very, very wealthy man. $150 million, $50 million fully guaranteed, and a $35 million signing bonus. If those numbers turn out to be true, I mean, I'm loving the fact it's a 6-year deal, and we're locking him down for 6 years. That's fabulous. I don't even want. We've got Del Rio locked down for 4. We could have Carr locked down for 6. We're gonna lock Mac down next season. So that's basically, that could be 4 to 5 years of just, man, let's step on the gas and see what we can do. See who we can run over. And the other pieces you can kind of mix around because Crabtree's he's still going to be around for that long. Cooper's still going to be around for that long. We got beast mode for a couple years. The defense is young. This team is stacked and set up to really be a force to be reckoned with and possibly put forth the dream kind of season that we have been waiting so long for. The Raider Nation has yearned for so long. We're on the verge of it. That's why it's such an exciting time. Such an exciting time right now. Because, I mean, we've seen it. We've been seeing it coming for a couple seasons. Nobody believed us before last season. The whole season before that, I kept telling everybody, that's all right, you guys keep talking, you wait. You wait. I see the changes because I watch every single play of every single game. Of course, nobody else seen the changes, but I seen the changes. I seen that it was changing. in the year before last. I seen that 2015 the changes were coming. I told everybody 2016 was going to be something. You better watch out. And boom, there we were. Now, we're expected to be good. It's different when you weren't expected to be good and you kind of sneak up on teams and you end up going 12-4. We're expected to go 12-4 this season. We're the favorites when we're coming in on most of our games. That means there's no flying under the radar. You got to bow up and be ready. You got to hit it hard in practice. You got to have the fire, man. You got to bring it. You got to be ready to bring it. And I think this team and the chemistry that we've built on this team, it could be something special. It could be something special. This could be one of those teams that we are talking about and telling our grandkids about. This could be one of those teams. I want it so bad, so bad. Like my son he's a diehard Raiders fan. He graduated 5th grade today. He's going into middle school next school year, and he comes walking through. Most of the other kids are wearing their the year shirt for their school and blah blah blah. And here comes my son rocking his Amari Cooper jersey. I was like, yeah, that's my boy. But I just want him to, for right now, to have the Raiders at an impressionable time when I'm watching every game with him is it's awesome, man. It's awesome. Last season was a great thing. I put nothing negative on last season. Last season was a fabulous season. It made me feel proud to be a Raider again. It'd been a while since we were able to raise our heads. I mean, don't let nobody else say something bad. I'll punch you in the mouth. But me, it was getting hard. I hated going out to the bar and watching the games anymore. It was starting to, I get a little fiery when somebody's sitting there. If you got 4 or 5 guys at the bar shit talking my team while I'm sitting there watching, I can't. It's hard for me to deal with. So it was nice for me to be able to go out and just sit there and be like, yeah. Plus, for the first time really since I've been down here in the last year or so, I've gotten hooked up with a great Raiders area booster team, the Florida Raider Nation. And it's great to have a group to go out and watch the games with, since, the ones who can't be at. So that's been nice, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be doing a lot of webcasts from Florida Raider Nation events. Because pretty much a game, if I'm not at it, I'm going to be with the Florida Raider Nation, and I'm going to be streaming live Raider reaction before the games, at halftime, and after the games, directly after. Catch full reaction all the way through, and take some interviews from the Florida Raider Nation members and other members of Raider Nation who just happen to be there. So that'll be some flavor we're going to do during the season, along with all the other normal goodies. Goes to the post and all the other fun stuff we typically do. So, as you all know, which I hope you know, every Monday and Wednesday, it goes to the post with Prime and the Commish. Raider Reaction features it every Monday and Wednesday as we drop back deep in the pocket and let it fly league-wide. Touch on all the hot league stories, as Prime is the Raider Reaction and resident sports guru. Touch on all the league stories, and because we got to keep up on everything. You got to know about your enemies. Everything that happens under the NFL shield affects the silver and black in the Raider Nation. So we got to keep up on all of that. So it's kind of nice to break down the league news twice a week with Prime. He gives a little different introspective than myself, because obviously I'm looking at things through silver and black eyes. He looks at things from a league-wide perspective. And that gives us a nice little perspective and an extra little perspective on our football breakdown for the week, going through all the hot news. So we break down on that every Monday and Wednesday. It's Raider Reaction featuring Ghost of the Post with Prime and the Commish. So make sure you always tune in on Monday and Wednesday, because I know we got some juice to cut through on Monday, that's for sure. Interested to see what Prime thinks about the Kaepernick signing. We were talking about that on Wednesday. And we got some other nice juice. Sure, something we'll be breaking down over the weekend. You know, it'll be crazy and bad. So if there's any news over the weekend, somebody got in trouble on Memorial Day weekend. So let's hope it's a dull news week, because unless it's another team, you know, and by all means, you guys play them as you will. But Raiders, let's keep it in line on Memorial Day weekend. Let's not do nothing crazy now. Don't be drinking and driving. Don't be doing nothing you shouldn't be doing. Let's just chill. You know. Just remember the fallen. Just remember what the day's supposed to be about, and let's keep it cool. We don't need no crazy news story. So, got a few minutes left with you guys tonight before Raider Bear comes on. You guys got any other questions, burning topics you want to discuss? Like I said, just kind of wanted to do a little Q&A style with you guys tonight. It's been somewhat of a slow week, but we have had the OTAs, we had the owners meeting, but pretty much everything that's happened at those, we have broken it down all the way down to Khalil Mack's cleats this week. So, you know, when you're looking over at the defensive side, like I said, the rumors are starting to swirl that Garyon Conley is looking like he's going to steal somebody's starting position. And that it's probably most likely Smith. And that Anderson would stay. So, you know, what do I think of the no-huddle offense, Ryan? No-huddle offense. I think it's a good thing. I think it gives Carr the opportunity to work on the move. I think it's a good thing. It gives him the opportunity to absolutely don't drink and drive. I second that 100%. Yeah, Ryan. Oh, those days. I'm so happy those days are behind us. So happy those days are behind us. But, yeah, I think the no-huddle's a good thing. It's a good thing. I think Derek Carr's got a lot of weapons. Has a lot of weapons. And what's up, Miguel? No, he's not starting, Sergio. He's not starting. But you know what? I honestly think it was a good signing for the Sea Chickens. He's got a very similar style to Russell Wilson. And if Russell Wilson goes down, I think Cap's a face of a serviceable backup that can fill in nice for him. I don't think he's a terrible signing for him. I didn't want him on my team. But for somebody else, I don't think he was a terrible signing. The new rule changes, which ones, Chris? The overtime doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't bother me. It just changes how you game plan. You just got to take into consideration that you don't have as long to play with. Taking 5 minutes off, I don't think it's that big of a deal. That doesn't bother me at all. I like the addition of the extra IR. I like, yeah, he's a decent guy. I mean, I think, I'm not even going to get into it. I think Kaepernick's gotten a little bad a little bad of rap. I mean, some of it's been brought on himself, but you bring a little bit of heat on yourself, and the country and the media just seem to railroad pretty much anybody. So, some of it was warranted, but a little of it means like, come on, man. They got a little carried away because the guy has been doing a lot of charitable things, a lot of decent things in his communities, and he's not an all bad guy just because he kneeled. Good God. Sometimes things just get blown a little bit out of proportion, but that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. Really. I don't see Sherman getting moved. I still don't see Sherman getting moved. I see that, I don't see that happening. I've seen that talk now for quite a while, and I do not see him getting moved. I just don't. I do not see him getting moved. Do not. Don't see him getting moved. I think Sherman's there. I think if that would have happened, it was going to happen before the draft, and it didn't happen, and now it's not. I mean, even Pete Carroll has pretty much said within the last week or two that the trade talks are pretty much dead. I mean, I'm sure Richard Sherman probably might have popped off and said something to somebody because that's what Richard Sherman does, but at this point, they're getting ready for training camp, and Richard Sherman's going to be a Seahawk for the 2017 season. Don't see that happening at all. Story about the NFC South adding an extra guy on their practice teams. Interesting. I did not see that story. Adding an extra guy on their practice teams. I mean, obviously that would be a good thing. If you can have an extra guy around to work out and be able to, I mean, it's a fabulous thing. But how is that possible? Now, I'm not positive on the rule for that, or what the league rule is regarding the number of people you can have on your practice squad. I'm sure there is a number, because there's a rule for everything in the NFL, but I don't know what that is off the top of my head. I will try to find that out. That's an interesting little nugget there, Bobby. I will see if I can dig up something on that, because I did not know about that. Did not know about that. Huh. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. There's got to be a rule for that. You would, or maybe there's not a specific number that you have to have on your practice squad. But I find that odd to believe because the NFL has a freaking rule for everything. So why wouldn't they have a rule for a specific number you're allowed to have on the practice squad? So that seems odd that one division and one conference would have a different number. No, God, Steven, he could never been a Raider. He doesn't fit in here. He doesn't fit in. He's not the kind of player we need. He's not the kind of player we need at all. We're good. I'm telling you guys, I give Connor Cook a little more credit than a lot of others. I think he got a raw deal last season. I've seen some flashes out of the kid. He got thrown to the freaking Wolves last season. He got thrown in the last game of the season when he never expected to play. Hadn't expected to play because Carr, up until the week before, was absolutely murdering teams and was the MVP possibly of the league. Hey, I do like that he got 34. The NFL approved it, Bobby. That's a strange story. I've got to look into that. We're going to get into that. I'm going to dig into that, Bobby. I want to dig into that. That's a good one for me and Prime to dig into and kick around on Monday. I'm going to dig into that. That's an interesting story. That's a good league story for Ghost to the Post. We'll let's touch on that Monday. I got to dig into that story because I did not see that. And that's interesting. Yeah, because that seems strange to me too. Oh, Fernando wants Jerry Rice to come back. Man, I bet you what. I tell you what. I bet Jerry Rice could probably still play. That dude is a physical freak, and he still trains like a freak. I mean, the dude was on Dancing with the Stars, and he took it to Dancing with the Stars, too. I mean, that guy is just a freak. I wouldn't be surprised if he could still play. Because you know what? Jerry Rice won't be the fastest guy on the field, but he'll run a prettier route probably than any guy out there right now. I don't know, man. I don't know. He might get lit up, but I tell you what, his route would be pretty. His routes were precise. I don't know. That guy, I'm telling you. I tell you what, that guy is right now is probably darn near in game shape. He trains like a madman still. Still. So, it's Memorial Day weekend this weekend. I am going to be back on Monday night. I'll be here even though it's Memorial Day. I'm still going to be here because Raider Reaction runs Monday through Friday, every Monday through Friday, and I'll be here on Memorial Day night, same time, 7 Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern. So, make sure you all stay safe and are able to join me on Monday. Have a good time, celebrate, remember what the day is for, and have a good time, barbecue with your family. Remember the fallen, and but be safe. Don't be crazy. Don't be crazy out there. Make sure you're all back and safe and full of barbecue and frosty beverages, and come join me Monday night on Memorial Day. We'll break it down. Goes to the post with Prime and the Commish. Break down a little flavor, and I'll be seeing you guys. So, what do we do? Every single weeknight on Oakland Raiders football, we go coast to coast. We start right here on the East Coast with a solid hour of Raider flavor and insight with the Commish on Raider Reaction. And then I throw it deep to the West Coast, to the infamous Raider Bear, for 2 solid hours on Friday, and 1 the rest of the week. That's how we do it. Every single weeknight. 7 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 12 Eastern. We go coast to coast on Oakland Raiders football. Thank you guys for joining me. It's been another great week on Oakland Raiders football and Raider Reaction. Another 5 solid shows with the Raider Nation in attendance. And like I said, have a fun team, fun weekend, enjoy it, enjoy time with your family, remember what the weekend is about, and everybody be safe out there. We'll see you guys all back here on Monday. Peace! Love, Raider Nation.